Well, it looks like things are not looking good for Xbox, and you gotta imagine, man, having the FTC after you must not be a very good feeling. The Federal Trade Commission has decided to accuse Xbox, apparently, of inflicting consumer harm and product degradation after a massive price increase hits Game Pass.
You ratted us out.
Hey, don't use that word that way.
I mean, it's
that was
2023.
sorry, Dad.
Now, again, ladies and gentlemen, I made a video talking about Xbox raising their Game Pass prices, which, by the way, is no different than any other streaming service raising their prices over the last couple of years, right? I mean, this is what they're doing to try to offset the loss of subscribers that they were inevitably going to get, right? Everybody and their mother decided to try to make a streaming service. We saw this with TV. We saw this with gaming, and we're going to see this through and through. We're going to keep seeing it. But what's happening is that people are starting to realize that there's only so many customers out there that you can't divide them amongst 20 different streaming services. So they end up consolidating, they end up getting together, and what happens is that now you only have a couple that are still around, and the only way for them to continue making profits is by increasing prices. And then this ends up pissing off people who are used to the service, because what you do, and this is a strategy, by the way, they try to make this a service where you cannot live without, right? They end up giving you the service for really cheap. It's the Uber strategy. And then after giving it to you really cheap for a few years, once they feel like they have you and you can't be without it, they're going to raise the prices and keep raising the prices until eventually now they got a super profitable outlook over their product. So let's get into this article, guys, from That Park Place. But of course, before we do, if you are new here, just consider hitting that subscribe button. I would greatly appreciate it, and like the video to push us out into that YouTube algorithm. So again, it says that the Federal Trade Commission accuses Xbox Studios, Activision, and their parent company, Microsoft, of consumer harm and product degradation after the company jacked up prices for its Game Pass service and announced a discontinuation of Xbox Game Pass for console. Earlier this month, Microsoft announced its changes to Game Pass and revealed that in the United States, the price for the Game Pass Ultimate increased from $16.99 to $19.99 per month. That's a 17% price hike for the month. Per month, actually. The company also revealed that the yearly subscription for Game Pass Core increased from $59.99 to $74.99. That's a 25% increase. These price changes go into effect for new members effective July 10th of 2024. For those with a recurring subscription, the price change will begin on September 12th of 2024. Now, again, ladies and gentlemen, PlayStation did the exact same thing. Disney Plus did the exact same thing twice in a year. Netflix did the exact same thing twice in a year. Okay, keep that in mind. They're going to keep doing this so long as they can keep getting away with it. For every $1 spread across however millions of subscribers they have, think about how much money that is, right? That is an insane amount of money that they're going to gain for every $1 across all of their subscriber base. So now what they did was they did $3. So now you got $3 times however many people. I think it's like 50 some odd million people subscribe to Game Pass. So think about that. It's an insane amount of money for doing the simplest thing. All you have to do is raise the price. That's it. And you get that money every single month. It is a massive increase in profits, and they are trying to do everything they can to offset the amount of people that are going to unsubscribe from Game Pass, right? Just because you raise the price doesn't mean that people are going to say, you know what, this is worth it still, and keep subscribing. There are going to be some people that are going to unsubscribe. There's going to be some people that have free Game Passes because they might be bundled with something else that are eventually going to lose it, and they're not going to resubscribe. So this is going to be a way to offset that money and also profit extra money for literally doing nothing else. It's not like they're giving you anything else in return. Game Pass is going to stay the same exact thing that it is. It says on top of the price increases, Xbox appeared to be preparing to phase out Xbox Game Pass for console. The company announced starting on July 10, 2024, Xbox Game Pass for console would not be available for new members. However, it also noted that currently subscribed members will still have access to the service and will be able to continue to enjoy your membership. This is contingent on members staying subscribed to the membership. Xbox noted if at any time you turn off your automatic payment renewal and your membership lapses, you will no longer have access to Game Pass for console and will need to join one of the other plans we offer for Game Pass. So yeah, they're basically giving you it's kind of like, okay, I think it's cool that they're at least holding it off for people who are currently subscribed on a recurring basis. But at the end of the day, man, you're gonna make people kind of be forced to subscribe, right? Like they're not gonna want to give it up because they're not going to want to lose the service, but they know that the moment eventually it's going to get to a point where they're going to have to stop. And then once they stop, now they got to pick a more expensive service that doesn't, it just doesn't seem right to me. I mean, it's a cool idea that they're doing it, but I feel like it could have been executed a little bit better. Finally, the company announced a new Game Pass option that they're calling Xbox Game Pass Standard. This option is priced at $14.99. It grants players access to hundreds of high-quality games on console, allows players to access online console multiplayer, and gives them access to member deals and discounts. Having to pay for online console multiplayer, I never agreed with. I think that's one of the most asinine things I've ever heard, because I'm a PC player through and through. Obviously, I do have the consoles, but I am a PC player, right? I don't have to pay for my internet, right? I'm already paying for my internet. That's the whole point. Why am I paying for my internet twice over? If I pay for my internet, right, my Fios, and now I gotta pay again in order to even use the Fios online, which are like, it's just crazy to me. Again, it's just the weirdest thing, because PC players don't ever have to deal with that, but that's neither here nor there. You can see 3 Game Pass options that Xbox has below. Now, we went over this, all right? There's no reason to kind of rehash it. They basically tried to use androgynous terms to make people not feel bad for getting the cheaper option, right? They do Xbox Game Pass Core, Xbox Game Pass Standard, and Xbox Game Pass Ultimate. So then it's not like they're going to call it cheap, middle, and expensive. You know what I mean? So they do these things to try to make people feel better about picking the cheaper option when they know most people are probably going to pick this because they just want to play online, and that's all. So now let's go over the actual court and the Federal Trade Commission. This is where it gets interesting. In a letter to the U.S. Court of Appeals for the Ninth Circuit, the FTC blasted Microsoft for these changes. The letter states that the Federal Trade Commission writes to alert the court to Microsoft's announced price increases in the multi-game subscription and in cloud gaming markets, which the district court found relevant to the merger analysis. Microsoft is raising the price for its Game Pass Ultimate product from $16.99 to $19.99, which is a 17% increase year over year. It continues. Additionally, Microsoft is discontinuing its $10.99 a month console Game Pass product. Users of that product must pay 81% more to switch to Game Pass Ultimate. For consumers unwilling to pay 81% more, Microsoft is introducing a degraded product, Game Pass Standard, at $14.99. This product costs 36% more than console Game Pass and withholds day one releases. Product degradation, removing the most valuable games from Microsoft's new service, combined with price increases for existing users, is exactly the sort of consumer harm from the merger that the FTC has alleged. Now, keep this in mind. Microsoft, they were trying to keep them from buying out Activision Blizzard. The FTC absolutely saw this coming a mile away. They wanted to withhold the merger of that company because they knew and they predicted that when that company was to merge, they were going to be anti-consumer inherently. They were going to do different things. There was going to be against the consumer and basically give product degradation, which is exactly what they were saying here. So now, for $10.99 a month, you can have essentially Game Pass Ultimate right now, right? If you unsubscribe, now you have to essentially pay 81% more to get the same exact thing that you have now. That 100% qualifies as degraded product, and that 100% qualifies as consumer harm. So I'm curious to see what's going to happen from this, but I think no matter what, man, this company is just, it's going to go through. Like it's going to end up getting paid off. Nobody's going to, do anything about it. They might be bringing it up now, but it seems like the FTC has a hard on for Microsoft. Microsoft price increases and product degradation, combined with Microsoft reduced investments in output and product quality via employee layoffs, are the hallmarks of a firm exercising market power post-merger, it states. It then declares, importantly, Microsoft actions are inconsistent with Microsoft representation below. Microsoft's price increases coincide with adding Call of Duty to Game Pass' most expensive tier, and discontinuing the console tier will happen shortly before releasing Call of Duty's newest game. Again, ladies and gentlemen, they're going to do everything they possibly can to try to make Game Pass profitable. Microsoft has been banking on Game Pass being profitable for years now. They've been offering it really cheap because they wanted people to get in there and make it something that they had to have, just like Uber did. And now they're at the point where they feel like with the merger that they can absolutely take advantage of people, and that's what they're going to try to do. So time will tell whether or not the FTC is going to be successful in any notion against Microsoft, but they are absolutely practicing exactly what the FTC said they were going to do. So anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching this video. Hope you did enjoy it. If you did, consider leaving me a subscribe. I would greatly appreciate it. Don't forget to like the video, comment, let me know what you thought, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Hypnotic out.